We'll take a look now at using pentatonic scales over this modal tune. Pentatonic scales are 5-note scales, and the basic pentatonics are the major and minor. The major pentatonic consists of root, second, major third, fifth, and sixth degrees. The minor pentatonic consists of the root, minor third, fourth, fifth, and flat seventh degrees. Applying this to our modal tune, the most obvious choice over the D minor seventh would be to use the D minor pentatonic, containing the notes D, F, G, A, and C. And over the E flat minor seventh, we would use the E flat minor pentatonic, E flat, G flat, A flat, B flat, and D flat. Looking at these pentatonic scales, you might think they're really just the same as the Dorian scales, just minus 2 notes. And this is true. But when we think in terms of a particular pentatonic scale, we're putting the notes into a context. In other words, if I play the first 16 bars and improvise off of the full D Dorian scale, that would create a different effect than playing exclusively off of the D minor pentatonic scale. And it's this subtle difference of constraining the improvisation to only 5 notes that creates all the difference in the listener's ear. To understand this idea, I'll play a solo now, and I'll loop just the D minor 7th chord to demonstrate. I'll play 8 bars using the full D Dorian scale, and then I'll play 8 bars using only notes from the D minor pentatonic scale. And I'll go back and forth a few times. Notice the different impressions that you get when you're listening to the D Dorian scale versus the D minor pentatonic scale. Now, taking this pentatonic note grouping concept even further, there are actually 3 different minor pentatonic scales that we can derive from the Dorian scale. As we know, we get the D minor pentatonic scale, but also we get the minor pentatonic scales from the 2nd and 5th degrees, E minor pentatonic and A minor pentatonic. If you notice the notes in E minor and A minor pentatonic, they're all notes diatonic to D minor. So again, all 3 of these pentatonics contain the same notes as D Dorian. It's all about context, the way that they're grouped together. So here's an example using these 3 pentatonics over that D minor 7th loop. I'll play on each one for 8 bars and switch between the 3. Notice how each one has its own sound. Before we move on to the next video, I just want you to take note that each of these minor pentatonics has their equivalent major pentatonic. And so for D, E, and A minor pentatonic, you could also think in terms of F, G, or C major pentatonic.